Hello and welcome to QTV News. To present, my name is Jeffrey Ziambo. Top stories in the news: 162,539 candidates who sat for the 2017 Grade 9 examinations have been selected to Grade 10, while 357,763 candidates who sat for the Grade 7 exams have made it to Grade 9. Patriotic Front in Kana Member of Parliament Alexander Chitema has likened civil servants to monkeys in a maize field. Once again, the news in detail. The 2017 Grade 7 and 9 examination results have been announced with a national progression rate to Grade 8 at 98.62% from 97.65% in 2016. And out of 308,060 candidates who sat for the Grade 9 examination, a total of 162,539 candidates have been selected to Grade 10, translating into a progression rate of 52.76% compared to 49.07% in 2016. Announcing the results in Lusaka, General Education Minister Dr. Dennis Wanchinga said a total of 400,802 candidates entered for the 2017 Grade 7 composite examination, of whom 201,525 were boys and 199,277 were girls. Dr. Wanchinga says out of 364,546 candidates who sat for the 2017 Grade 7 composite examination, a total of 357,763 candidates have been selected to Grade 8. He says this includes 181,206 boys and 176,557 girls, bringing the national progression rate to 98.62% from 97.65% in 2017. He has disclosed that all the provinces except Lusaka recorded 100% progression rates.
As a ministry, we see this as a very positive development because it's providing evidence that some of the interventions the ministry is making are paying dividends. Perhaps the campaign to end marriages, to end teenage pregnancies, and the measures and education programs we have on things like menstrual hygiene programs, the school feeding programs, would be some of the factors contributing to this positive development. Of the 201,525 boys who entered for the examination, that's about a good number for us. But out of this number, unfortunately, 17,280 were absent, representing an absenteeism rate of about 8.8%.
And highlighting the results for Grade 9, the General Education Minister says out of 308,060 candidates who sat for the Grade 9 examinations, a total of 162,539 candidates have been selected to Grade 10, translating into a progression rate of 52.76% compared to 49.07% in 2016. Dr. Wanchinga says a total of 308,060 candidates sat the examinations, representing 87.96% of those who entered for the examination.
And 60 candidates who sat for the Grade 9 examination, a total of 162,539 candidates have been selected to Grade 10, translating into a progression rate of 52.7% compared to 49.1% in 2016. So, we have 162,539 candidates who are now going to be enrolled into Grade 10 out of the 308,060 who had originally sat for the examination. The highest progression rate was recorded in Northwestern Province at 60%, followed by Northern Province at 59.6%, while the lowest progression rate was recorded in Southern Province at 45.3%.
The doctor has since disclosed that schools will reopen on January 15, 2018, with a grace period of 2 weeks. A head-on collision accident in Ndola on the Copper Belt involving a truck and a bus has left several passengers badly injured. Road Transport and Safety Agency RATSA Head of Public Relations Frederick Mubanga has confirmed the development in a brief statement. Mr. Mubanga says the accident occurred near Indeni Oil Refinery in Ndola at 06 hours. He says the accident involved a Jarazu Bus Services registration number ABE 5891 and a Zambezi Portland truck registration number ABE 284. Mr. Mubanga explains that the truck driver coming from the southern direction was trying to avoid a cyclist and in the process collided with a bus which was coming from the north. He says both vehicles were badly damaged. Patriotic Front PF Unkana Member of Parliament Alexander Chiteme has charged that the civil service is rotten. Speaking during the PF Interactive Forum, Mr. Chiteme says it is the civil servants who have been enriching themselves through corrupt means and not the president or ministers. He has likened civil servants to monkeys in the maize field. Mr. Chiteme says it is unfair to accuse senior government officials of corruption when civil servants are the ones at the center of corruption and enriching themselves. He has since called for serious civil service reforms in the country if corruption is to be seriously fought.
To say where is Brother Tayari to also claim that he has taken over the Copper Belt or Sean Tembo from PEP. You see, because now it seems like it's a game that everybody is playing to say they have taken over the Copper Belt. And I had said when I was hosted on this program in Kitwe to say, you see, there's a very fertile ground right now where those people that are claiming that they have taken over the Copper Belt can actually showcase their voice, their power to have taken over the Copper Belt. We have a highly contested Ron 6 that we have expelled Honorable Chishimba Kambwe. In any showcase, you know, Chishimba Kambwe never send a Copper Belt. Nobody language Chishimba Kambwe which they were back. I even offered earlier on the Copper Belt to select an independent nation so that you come into the arena now. You show your power to say, yes, NDC is the happening party on the Copper Belt. Withdraw the case before the courts of law. Let us go to the by-election. So that you can guess that number of consulted by NDC wa Chimbaka. Now they got a Copper Belt. The one winning. You know these politics where you begin to copycat, thinking to say, oh, because Sata came to power by doing this, and if I can just take his clothes and wear them, I will be a president. It doesn't work. People have opened up their eyes. People are not going to laugh at Bemba province alone and become president. Okay, you need to sell a message to the people. And this message does not come easy. Okay. Now, State House title, dictionary and it's easy to say that. Okay. It's easy for him to go out and tell people to say, no, if you have I can even do better.
The Teaching Council of Zambia says it has registered about 127,000 qualified teachers and education practitioners between 2016 and 2017 in all the 10 provinces. Council Registrar Dr. A.B. Mubanga has told journalists that of the 127,000 registered, 100,086 will receive their teacher registration in 2 weeks' time. Dr. Mubanga says the 127,000 registered teachers have been found to have genuine documents after being scrutinized. He says the council will enter 2018 with a lot of success stories, as teachers with genuine documents will be registered with the council and would have applied, paid, and gotten their practicing licenses.
As we speak now, a total of 127,000, in fact in excess of 127,000, have successively registered with the Teaching Council of Zambia. So meaning these are genuinely qualified teachers. Yes, we had those small numbers for those that presented forged qualifications, but they are not part of the 127,000. Now, the process to procure certificates is progressing very well. Out of the 127,000 successfully registered, about 100,086 will receive their certificates in 2 weeks' time, to be precise, the 1st or the 2nd week of January. So these certificates are coming. Now the others who want to receive their certificates this time around will receive theirs later. So we are saying 127,000 have successfully been registered, and then out of these 100,086 will receive their certificates in 2 weeks' time. Others will receive theirs later on. And once somebody receives their registration certificate, the next step is to apply for a practicing certificate. Because there are two things. When you get registered, you also have to be issued with a practicing certificate. More information, of course, will be given, but this is where we are. So meaning we are entering 2018 with a lot of success stories, because teachers will have been registered, and then teachers will start applying for practice certificates. And then we shall also now look at issues of compliance to see who has registered, who hasn't registered. And we shall engage employers now so that they should check those employees, teachers that they have, who have registered. And if one is not registered, we shall not allow them to enter a classroom in 20.
Meanwhile, the National Savings and Credit Bank has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Teaching Council of Zambia in a bid to enhance effectiveness and efficiency in the collection of registration and practicing certificates fees for teachers across the country. Speaking during the signing ceremony, NATSEV Acting Chief Executive Officer Mary Mumba expressed confidence that the payments by teachers in the country will be made easy and efficient through the bank's 38 branches spread across the country.
As you are aware, we have 38 branches spread countrywide. Will help also smoothen the process. We have put in quite a number of initiatives. We've developed customized slips and also put in all information that is relevant for the Teaching Council registration and licensing process. Further on, the bank has also introduced e-banking, which will lessen the monitoring process for the Teaching Council in terms of checking on who has paid and where. That will lessen the burden for them in terms of reconciliation. Ladies and gentlemen, as a bank, we attach great importance for this relationship, and it has a critical role in the development of this country, even as we pioneer financial inclusion. As you know, being a government bank, we are the pioneers of financial inclusion. The bank has realized that in supporting the teaching fraternity through such programs and objectives with the Ministry of Education and the Teaching Service Commission and the Teaching Council of Zambia, there is need that we put up concerted efforts to ensure that we maximize on the utilization of teaching time. This entails that most of our teachers now will have more time dedicated to teaching at the expense of spending long hours trying to look for a financial institution.
And Teaching Council of Zambia Registrar Ebi Mubanga says the MOU will greatly help in servicing teachers in remote areas where banking services are not easily accessible. Dr. Mubanga says teachers have to cover long distances to get to the nearest Zanaco bank, consequently affecting their classroom work.
The Teaching Council of Zambia then today enters into another partnership with NATSEV for one major reason: to service teachers in remote areas where banking services are not easily accessible. However, we shall leave it open to teacher clients to access the banking services within their reach, especially in places like Lusaka. We are therefore mindful of the fact that some of our teachers had to cover long distances to just access Zanaco, which is not available in other places like I indicated. This occasion marks yet another milestone in the history of the Teaching Council of Zambia. The signing of this MOU today builds on and further strengthens the already existing relationships between the two institutions, that is NATSEV and TCZ. As I have already alluded to at different forums, teachers and education practitioners need to understand that teacher registration is a legal requirement indicating that no teacher can offer their services without being registered by the Teaching Council of Zambia. It should also be known that teacher registration provides information to the Minister of General Education and other employers as regards to who is qualified and certified by the council. Teacher registration also gives authority to every teacher to practice. It further promotes the teaching profession.
Health Minister Dr. Shitalu Chilufya has disclosed that the government has this year alone recruited about 10,000 health workers who have been deployed across the country. Dr. Chilufya has told QTV News that previously the government used to recruit less than 1,000 health workers per year. He says the government wants to ensure health services are taken closer to the people. Dr. Chilufya says by December 2016, there was no qualified and certified worker who had no job in the country, adding that all those who were certified were employed. He adds that there is still a 1,000 provision to employ health staff in 2018, with an additional 300 staff to be recruited with the support of the donor community.
Let's give credits to the Patriotic Front Party government. You must give credit to President Lungu. For the very first time, we have recruited close to 10,000 health workers in the year 2017. Just to give you an idea, in the previous years we were taking 800. If we reach 1,000, that would be a miracle. But for the very first time, in the first year of President Lungu's strategic plan, we recruited close to 10,000. Our strategic target for 30,000 has been dented significantly. So by December 2016, we had no health worker qualified and certified who had no job in this country, not a single one. So all those who want jobs are qualified in or are certified in 2017. So already from that same group, we've recruited a number. And we still have provision for 1,000 for 2018. We're going to recruit those. And using the Global Fund and using the USAID support with the Swedish support, again, we're going to recruit another 300 or so. That's significant.
Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries Permanent Secretary David Shamulenge says progress has been made towards the export of livestock to Saudi Arabia. Dr. Shamulenge says a task force consisting the private sector and government is engaging with their counterparts in Saudi Arabia to finalize the agreement. The permanent secretary says government is determined to ensure that the livestock sector contributes to the national gross domestic product.
We've been able to request for public health documents from the Ministry of Health in Saudi Arabia, particular, so that we can see the requirements that our partners there use in terms of export. We've filled in those, we've done our part, and we've sent them to Saudi Arabia. So we are still waiting for their response. We know it has taken long, but I think our embassy there is assisting us, and we are making a follow-up with the Ministry of Health to see how they can intervene, so that our colleagues can come from the public health and inspect the facilities that we've put in place to ensure that there's disease control in terms of goats production, and if we meet their specifications, then from there on we pick it up and start prepare for a launch for the export. But we're also looking at starting the local market, so that we can start stimulating production within our country and in the SADC area, SADC region. So we're also encouraging that the task force maybe can spill over to form a cooperative that will spearhead the local trade.
Government is concerned with the quality of education being provided in the majority of colleges and universities in the country. Ministry of Higher Education Human Resource and Administration Director Peggy Chirwa has noted the need for these colleges and universities to improve their quality of education for Zambia to attain its aspirations of being a prosperous middle-income country by 2030. Speaking during the dissemination of the Employment Potential Assessment Report, Mrs. Chirwa says skills development is cardinal to both employment and job retention, and that the Higher Education Ministry is key to the actualization of these aspirations. She says the Ministry of Higher Education, working with other stakeholders, will ensure that the quality of graduates from colleges and universities make it easier for employers to be attracted to them.
I urge training institutions to strengthen their research departments to help them assess the industry and tailor programs that respond to identified needs. To be productive, one takes more than being technically competent. Rather, it is also about the various life and core skills that one needs in order to thrive in a job environment. Invited guests, ladies, gentlemen, and youth, it is needless to state that relevant, accurate, and timely information is key to any successful intervention. That is why my ministry endorses the efforts of non-state actors like Children International in coming with research that informs industry players about what is expected of the job seekers.
Speaking at the same event, Employment and Entrepreneurship Potential Assessment EEPA Survey Coordinator Elton Moyo has recommended the strengthening of technical education, vocational and entrepreneurship training, TVET, so as to help with skills development as well as promote linkages between industries and tertiary institutions. Mr. Moyo says according to the findings of the report, the technical skill with the highest potential for employment was business administration at 21.4%.
Then also, one of the recommendations is that tertiary institutions should conduct research often in determining the skills gap out there. Because one of the questions was, how do you design courses? Do you conduct research? Do you look out, go to the industry, go to the market out there and ask, what is it that is lacking in the industry? Then also, young people, youths need more information on what is available on the market in terms of technical training, and those that have the highest potential for employment. Information is not readily available for young people as regards to what is it, what are the skills, or what are the technical skills out there that have got the greatest potential for employment. This information is not readily available to the young people. Then also, the last recommendation that came out was that entrepreneurship programs should be promoted at all levels. So for those young people that might not get into the formal job or informal job sector, could go into the entrepreneurship track or way.
Meanwhile, Children International Zambia Programs Manager Nsama Chikwanka says the organization has set aside $3 million in 2018 for children and youths in Kanyama, Chivolia, and George compounds. He says the investment is meant to help transform the lives of the young people in the three communities.
And then we are moving into another phase of our lives as an organization to get young people employable and eventually get employed. And this decision has been informed by experience. And some of you might attest to the fact that the mere fact that you have a college certificate or diploma or degree does not guarantee that you're going to break the cycle of poverty. We are going to break free from poverty. You may need to get into employment, but not just employment. We're talking about gainful employment. And that's the genesis for our gathering this evening. We want to help young people get employed. To get employed, they must have a set of skills. They must know certain things. So how do we know that they need this or this sort of set of skills, this set of attitudes and values and so on? Is to conduct a survey, to get it out there and establish what is the industry, what is the market looking for before we can start placing them in places of employment. So that is the fifth pillar of our work. Let's get young people employed. So if you have followed what I've shared, what we are doing is we are providing a holistic kind of intervention towards poverty eradication in the lives of young people.
Consumer Unit Trust Society Cuts International Zambia says the government should have addressed other pressing issues first before thinking of reintroducing the national airline. Cuts Zambia Center Coordinator Chanae Mukumba says her organization would have loved to see the government address other challenges that require its attention other than the reintroduction of the national airline. Ms. Mukumba has, however, called on stakeholders to support the reintroduction of the national airline, considering that government has already made up its mind. She says not only will this help in the promotion of the tourism sector, but will also have some positives on the country's economic growth.
The extent to which us as Zambia can promote a national airline does much not only for our tourism sector, but I think also in propping, Zambia up as a country that you want to go to with, a leading provision of services. I think though, when you're taking a look at, from a priority perspective, I think questions need to be raised with regards to whether at this present moment it's the best value for money. I think you may be aware that a couple of days ago Zambia and Brazil signed an agreement for debt cancellation, and for us we commended the Ministry of Finance for essentially continuing with that process and finalizing it. And in that statement that the Ministry of Finance put out, I think one of the key areas that they indicated in terms of where the savings from that debt were going to go was really to ensure that as a country that money would be redirected specifically to sort of social sectors that will help not only in the social but economic development of the country. And I think for us then to see the government make a statement that they'll be putting it towards the national airlines, while I said it's a great step, I think there are further pressing issues that we could potentially be looking into. And I think for us, we would have wanted to sort of see those addressed first before the national airlines.
To end the news, we take a look at stories making headlines. 162,539 candidates who sat for the 2017 Grade 9 examinations have been selected to Grade 10, while 357,763 candidates who sat for the Grade 7 exams have made it to Grade 8. Patriotic Front in Kana Member of Parliament Alexander Kitema has likened civil servants to monkeys in a maize field. That's what we had in our news. My name is Jeffrey Ziambo. Bye-bye.